Hello, folks. Welcome back to Bro Do It Yourself. This is another episode or sequence in my condo renovation series. I had to take some time off and take care of some business, and then I've been working a lot. So um, I don't even know how to start this. I'll tell you what I do. I'm going to make this fast. I'm going to start this by doing a slow pan. I think that we have all been in here before on. But I want you to look at this chaos in here. And it's just nutty. I know there's other guys, probably a lot of people can identify with my problem or my issue or the thing that's going on here. And then a lot of other people say, what the heck is all that about? This is a single car garage, and this is where I do all my projects. And I've been fighting for years. I've been here since '06, and I keep putting it off and trying to do this and that and working on my house. But every time I got to use the car or use the garage for anything, I got to move everything or use my neighbors. That blows. That's not cool. This is my MIG and my plasma and my generator, and I've got a generator box I'm working on. This goes inside of that. Weld that up and get it inside the quiet box. And these bottles are for my dual fuel generator. And I mean, you can see it's just a big conglomeration of. It's like some kind of like weird bomb went off in here, and and it just drives me nuts. Because I got to remember where stuff is, and how could you possibly remember? And I'm constantly in here and doing stuff, and it's just not working for me. So one of my big problems was, and I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm convinced because I'm so Scott German. I'm a hardhead, and I'm sure there's one generation, if not more, of sharecroppers in my family. We don't throw away anything. We keep everything. And I've had some 14.4 volt Gen 1 DeWalt, everything you can imagine since Hector was a pup, you know. And I got rid of all that stuff. I finally, I'm 66, turned 66 on last month. And I'm running out of time. So what I want to do is I want to convert this garage into a livable, workable area so that I can actually bring things down here from the house because I'm renovating it as well. But I'm going to complete this because it's an extension of my electrifying this garage. It's an extension of my project down in my utility room. This is where my service comes in, my 200 amp service, which is my emergency disconnect is out here. On the other side of that wall is my 200 amp service, which I've got hooked into a Reliance generator, 125 amp generator switch, which leads to a square D sub panel. That electric is going to come out. This is where the electric comes out now, and there where the wires are. I'm not going to try to dig it out. It goes over to my compressor, and I've got a 10 gauge going out there to run 220 in. And there's another, I think originally through this whole build, they had a 110 amp. I got to find where that thing is. I don't know, there's a piece of PVC over there, so, I'll just end up cutting it. Because what I'm going to do is, before I redeck this thing, and that's what I'm talking about, my issue with tools, is that Reliance outlet is here, so I can plug my generator in. I'm going to have my generator quiet box right here. But what I'm going to do is run, I think it's 4 gauge. I've got 4 gauge, so I'm going to hook up to the 125 amp breaker in that square D. And I'm going to bring them in some Schedule 80, 1.5 inch to 125 amp service emergency disconnect right there. That's the new NEC reg, which makes sense to me. The fire department wants to have an ability to turn off all the service from the outside on a detached building. And that's only on, if I touch it, I got to bring it up to code. So right there, the Siemens box is going to go out there. Inside here is going to be, well, I had the big idea back in the day, about a year ago, of bringing that outdoor Siemens panel out in here, or outside. Because my big idea before I got into the NEC regs is I was going to have this sub panel here, and you can't have that with a block. It's got to be 30 inches wide and 36 inches out and 67 inches high. So right here is where that Eaton box is going to go. It's an indoor box. That means my service from that Siemens will come up to this box here, and then I'll be able to spider out from there. I'm going to have a 50 amp for a welder, or 30 amp for the welder, and 50 amp for the plasma. I'm going to have behind here, I've got another 30 amp I want to use for a heater that's behind all that crap on top of that Kennedy. And I got 220, so that means I'm going to have 4 double amp or double slotted breakers. I have a 5 horsepower ball door motor up there for a for a dual cylinder compressor and 70 gallons of volume. So I'm set on that. I just need to electrify this thing. So to bring that all together, and you can see the deck, I need to do the deck next year. I need to put a concrete pad out here for the compressor. I'm going to put a concrete pad there for the quiet box, which you can see out there with that thing on the end of it. That's going to be exhaust. It's padded or soundproofed. Anyway, my problem was with those 14.4 volt DeWalt's. I took all that stuff. I don't know how many batteries I had. I had a bunch of them. And I had about every tool you can imagine in 14.4. I took all that stuff to DeWalt, or to St. Vincent de Paul, and set out on my Milwaukee journey. I did all, for a year or so, I did all this digging into, and I found out that Milwaukee, which has always been on my mind too. I was a DeWalt guy, now I'm bleeding red. I'm on Milwaukee. I just got, a matter of fact, this Surge right here, this M18 Surge, I've been using it a lot and I love it. I've got the 14, or the M18 impact, 1/4 inch impact in there with a 1/2 inch hammer drill, the M18. And I love this thing. This thing is quiet. It's got all the torque I want. But, to that end, I thought, because they send you M18 and M12 chargers, and I'm sure I know me, I'm sure that's the seed that was planted. So I went out yesterday and I got this M12 Surge. I haven't even used it yet. I've got an M12 Sawzall coming, and what else? I've got an M18 angle grinder down there in the basement. I've just got a bunch of stuff. I got a multi-tool. I've got electric tools. This is an electric Sawzall and pneumatic nail guns. And I've got an electric multi-tool and electric jigsaw. I got a brand new jigsaw on that thing, but see what I mean? Everything is like, I'm not quite sure what's in there, and I think I know what's in there, and this here is a part of my solution that I didn't even know I was this is your Harbor Freight toolbox that they nest, like a Russian doll. And this one goes inside there, and I kind of remember what's in there, and I think I've got lubricants in this one. But I mean, it's just crazy. I've got 2 or 3 sets of these Some of the electric stuff in it, some of the plumbing stuff in it. This is plumbing pipe and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just insanity. I just got crazy mix, which the long and short of it is I'm going to turn this garage into a pack out system. Right there's the pack out. I've got a lot of pack out, or I got some pack out. My start down in the utility room. I've got some coming, and I'm sure I'm going to have a wall of pack out there. That way I'll be able to have my Kennedy kit. With that Kennedy, I'm going to stop wasting space and put it back on this piece of plywood here. I have all my automotive tools, all my steel stuff, and all my air guns and all that stuff. But over here I'll be able to have my carpentry and my electrical and my plumbing, and it's like right now downstairs, it's funny how it just starts to morph because it was happening in spite of myself. It's like I just went and bought these 2 batteries today because it's Black Friday. This is the time to do that kind of stuff. It kind of all fell together, man. And I've got that M12 hacksaw coming, and my gosh, I've got a bunch of stuff coming together. It's the time of year to do it. Just do it, and be glad I can do it. So I'm gonna chop this thing off because it's getting long. You can see what I got to do. I've already got I had 5 of these fluorescent lights going down this wall. Well, now I have 2 4-foot vapor tight. And this is where the the door rolls up and it stops like right here. And it was always the dark end of the shop. Now I've got 2 of those 4-foot. I think I'm going to put these 2 on a separate switch. I've got 0 to 10 volt dimmers, which these are set up for. And I was going to run Romex, but now I don't know how I would do that signal wire, that 18 gauge with Romex. So I'm going to do Schedule 40 and run THHN between them, So I'm going to make these 2 separate on a separate dimmer because this end of the shop, the garage door is open. It's stupid to have the lights on, even though they don't burn any energy to speak of. But I will have these 4 on a separate dimmer. I'll have these 2 on a separate dimmer, which is 3 dimmers. And the 4th dimmer I'm going to have for here. I'm going to have 2 of those lights up there. And I think what I want to do, I've got 2 more of those lights, these lights coming. I think I'm going to put one up here because this is going to be the location of the Kennedy kit. And that's going to be the location for the pack out system. And then I'll be able to open up and have room and work on this with plenty of luminosity. That's the big thing when you get to be in your 60s. I'm 66. I'm getting old, man. I'm running out of time, so I want to get all this crap together and get it all dialed in and try to find some time. I've been working over 80 hours a week and trying to keep her from getting angry at me for not taking care of myself and trying to spend time to keep a marriage together, She's so selfless, so she doesn't give me any grief at all. The only thing she's worried about is my health. So, and we miss being together because we're just the only 2. And here we go. I'm starting to jibber jabber and ramble on, so I'm going to shut it down right here and say thanks for coming back to Road Do It Yourself. And I really don't care if you click that like button or ring that bell or any of that stuff. I just want to take somebody along. Hey man, you know what? You see the insanity here? It's like they say in South Main Auto, if I can do it, you can do it. See you later. It just keeps getting better. Thanks.